So should you do Amazon FBA or should you do Shopify dropshipping? What's going on, everybody? Your boy Juan Valdez back with another video, and today I'm going to be going over some of the differences between doing Amazon FBA, for those of you guys that don't know what FBA is, fulfillment by Amazon, and Shopify dropshipping, and just some of the differences between the two. Now, for those of you guys that are brand new to my channel, welcome on over. This is the VFam. The VFam is a family of individuals that are striving to do a lot more than what society has out for us to do. To kind of get started, if you guys want to see a lot more videos where I'm comparing, different opportunities, maybe, drop shipping to affiliate marketing, drop shipping versus like social media marketing, or any other business opportunities, feel free to drop a like on this video. And of course, if you have any questions along the way, make sure you drop a comment below and I'll get back to you guys and respond. I want to let you guys know that I actually don't do Amazon FBA, but I know people that do. The way that I gathered my information is simply by doing some research on how it all works, just looking some facts up on the internet. Of course, that's what we all use to get all our information. And I just asked some of my buddies that actually do Amazon FBA, how it works, and kind of double check with them. But of course, if along the way I make any mistakes on something that, I said that isn't how it's supposed to, no big deal. I'm only human. So, work with me on that. And what I also did is I actually put together some notes to kind of go over with you guys. I'm going to have it actually on my phone. Don't worry, I'm not going to be looking away texting people. Obviously, I wouldn't do that to you guys. I actually put together some notes here that I'm going to be going over. So if you see me looking away, that's why. I believe that both opportunities are great opportunities, right? I know people that crush it with Amazon FBA, and I know people that crush it with Shopify dropshipping just like I do, right? So of course, I'm not going to say like, oh, only do this or only do that. I think they're both good opportunities. Now, I do believe the skills that one of them requires end up being a lot more valuable in the long run than the other, and we'll also get into that. Amazon FBA, for those of you guys that don't know what it is, it's pretty simple. It's pretty much the way that Amazon FBA works. Again, fulfillment by Amazon is, first, obviously, you're going to do your product research, so you find the products that you like, not that you like, that are actually selling, doing pretty well. After you find these products, what you do is you then find a supplier that you can work with. After you find a supplier, you get them to actually ship you all the products. You have to pay up front to get all the products shipped to an Amazon warehouse. They fully hold, all the inventory for you, and they take care of, all that whole process. And now, after you work on, doing your ranking, your SEO, and all that great stuff on Amazon, you get to take advantage of their free traffic. And after somebody buys your product, they take care of the whole fulfillment process. So, it is pretty neat. And for those of you guys that don't know what Shopify dropshipping is, you set up your Shopify store, you do your product research. From there, you then go on AliExpress, get whatever product that you found that seems to be selling pretty well, put it on your Shopify store. You then drive traffic. After you drive traffic, somebody buys, then you then go ahead and take the customer's info and the money that they obviously used to buy the product, and you go on AliExpress and you pay for the product to be shipped out to the customer. The supplier sends it out, and then boom, what I'm saying? That's the whole business. Yeah, and that's basically how they both work. So what I wanted to do now is kind of go over some pros and cons, between the two, just to kind of give you guys a comparison. And then at the end, I'll kind of give you guys my thoughts on which one I think is a better opportunity. So to kind of get started, again, I have the notes here on the side, so if you see me looking away, that's why. Now with Amazon FBA, right, to kind of get started with Amazon FBA, it does require some startup capital. What I've noticed is, from the things that I've seen online and some of the people that I've looked up and researched, usually you need about $1,000 to get started because you have to buy the products up front. And it looks like you usually have to order anywhere from like 200 to 500 units of that product. Of course, with any new opportunity, you usually have to invest to learn how it all works. So now you have the investment of learning how it all works, which you have to take care of. So that's one investment. And then you also have to invest in the products to kind of get started. So that's one thing I'm not a huge fan of, because again, you guys know with Shopify dropshipping, you can literally set up a free Shopify account, which in case if you guys wanted to do that, I actually have a link down below in the description. You guys can click the link there and you can literally make a free account with Shopify. You get 14 days absolutely free to check out the platform, learn how it all works, and all that great stuff. After you set up your free Shopify account, obviously there's no other fees because you don't have to order the products, right? So all you do from there is, again, we're going to go into that, but pretty much that's how you get started, right? You don't have to order the products up front. That's one of the main differences between Amazon FBA and Shopify dropshipping. Amazon, you have to order the products up front. Shopify dropshipping, you don't. So that's one of the main differences. I'm not a huge fan of having to order all of the products up front, just because, again, you could go through problems where, again, your inventory doesn't sell, your product may die out. you never know what can happen. I'd much rather drop ship the product where I'm having people come in and buy the product first and then I order the product to them. So that's just my personal opinion. But the next one is FBA. It does require a little bit more time doing the research because you're not testing as many products as you are with Shopify dropshipping. Now, I don't know exactly why that is. I've seen a few videos of some guys that do Amazon FBA, and it looks like it does require a little more in-depth research on what products you're gonna sell. I think maybe after you find a good product, maybe you don't have to, consistently keep testing to find new ones. I'm not sure how it works actually. I don't want to give you guys the wrong information on that one. I just know that based on what they've said, it looks like it requires, just like Shopify dropshipping, in-depth product research. I'm not saying that Shopify dropshipping requires a less detailed product research process, but I believe that with Amazon FBA it sounds like it's a little more in depth. With Amazon FBA, the product life cycles, once you find a good product, the life cycle where it ends up performing really well, where you get the most amount of sales, or when it's selling really well, the lifelong value of it seems to be a lot longer than with Shopify dropshipping. Usually, just like if you guys have seen when the fidget spinners came around, the lifespan that it had when the sales were really good for anyone that was selling fidget spinners, the average is like 4 to 6 months around there. That's when you get the prime time where like you find a hot product and it crushes it, and then after that it usually slows down. So that's why you want to consistently do research to find new products. Now with Amazon, it looks like on average the products usually end up doing really well way longer than 4 to 6 months, right? It's looking like up to a year. That's just one of the main differences. That is one of the pros about doing Amazon FBA. But again, there's like, with Shopify dropshipping, we'll get into that. But that's one of the pros that I personally, that the lifetime value of each product when it's doing really well is a lot longer than dropshipping. So that's one. Now, when it comes down to it, it is harder to build a brand and a niche around specific products on Amazon FBA, just because again, when people are coming on there, they're not seeing they're not getting attached to the product like your store. They're not seeing all these different cool images, things like that. That's super important because usually what sells a lot of people when it comes to Shopify dropshipping, when they come to your store and they see that you have nice images, nice ad, different products, upsells and downsells, different products that they can buy with that same product they came in to get, all these different things, that gives the person a much stronger connection with the products that they're looking to buy, because now they see that they're coming in, they're seeing other products just like it. It's just a different vibe, right? So it's not really the same when you go on Amazon. You usually just buy that product. Yeah, you have some products that you get upsold to, but there's no real connection. You're just going on there, you're doing it, and it's Amazon, right? You can't really build a brand outside of Amazon. It's because all the products are on there. So that's one of the things that I'm not a huge fan of, because again, one of the way, and we're going to get into that, one of the strategies that we like to take advantage of is actually brand building, and the fact that we can branch out and have full control of our customers. So that's one of the cons for sure. The next one that I'm not a huge fan of either is that you don't get to keep the customer data, right? You don't get to keep their emails. Any of the data that comes in through Amazon, they keep, right? So obviously I'm not a huge fan of that, because again, one of the Shopify dropshipping strategies that I go over with you guys is really how to make money on the back end, with your customers after you get them to come to your store, right? Either if they abandon cart or if they did buy, following up through emails and a whole lot more. I'm huge on building a back-end business with Shopify dropshipping. So the fact that, with Amazon FBA, I can't get their emails kind of makes me miss out on, a ton of money, because we make a lot of back-end money. So the fact that if we didn't get any emails, we'd be losing out on a ton. So for me, I'm not a huge fan of the fact that you cannot get their emails and keep any of the customer data, because it's their customers. So again, you can't, the chances of you getting repeat customers, customers to refer other people to buy from your store. I mean, obviously you get the reviews on Amazon, of course, for them, but to have them not be able to give a review on your own website kind of limits you a little bit, specifically because, again, having your own website outside of Amazon is huge. Obviously, they're one of the biggest e-commerce companies, so they get all this traffic, but having something outside of Amazon is a lot more important, because once you have a customer's information, a customer's email, this is a customer's a point in contact that you have pretty much for life. So whenever you have any new products, new offers, you can always remarket to them, rather than with Amazon, you always have to, drive them back to Amazon to get it. And that's the only way they're going to see your new offers and your new products. So I'm not a huge fan of that. But there is ways around it. I guess for people that do Amazon, they don't really count on making back-end money, but obviously they get to take advantage of the free traffic, which we'll get into. With Amazon FBA, they do take care of your order fulfillment process, which is huge. Literally, they take care of everything, contacting the customer, do everything from step A to Z with order fulfillment. They take care of it. Again, with Shopify dropshipping, you guys know that pretty much at first you have to fulfill the orders. So when the customer buys, you take their information, you take obviously the money that they paid for the product, a part of it. After you take your profits, of course, you got to make sure you eat, and you take your profit, and then you go on AliExpress, and you then you pay for the product, you submit all the information, and then that supplier then sends it to the customer. So at first, you do have to do the order fulfillment yourself, but later on, and I'll actually be making more videos on this, you can actually automate the whole order fulfillment process where you can hire an assistant for really cheap to completely take care of that whole order fulfillment process, so you can focus on more important tasks. That's just the difference between the two. At first, with Shopify dropshipping, you do have to do it yourself. Amazon, you never do. So that's that is obviously a good pro that Amazon has. That's actually pretty cool. And I believe this is one of the things I'm not a huge fan of, is that they take 15% of all of your total sales. Now, obviously, there's some percentage that when for Shopify dropshipping, there's a percentage that goes into ad spend and things like that. But again, Shopify doesn't take any percentage of your sales. They do, there's like some credit card transaction fees, things like that. But if you get like a highest plan, you can get really low fees for that. But besides that, they don't take any fees. So obviously, I'm not a huge fan of the fact that Amazon, takes advantage, or not takes advantage, takes 15% of all your total profits. I mean, I do understand that you are getting the benefit of using their platform and also taking advantage of all the traffic that they get onto their obvious platform, because obviously you guys know almost everybody nowadays shops with Amazon. So of course you do get to take advantage of the free traffic, so it does kind of make sense. But I'm personally just not a huge fan of the fact that they're taking 15%. So that's one of the last things I kind of had to go over when it comes to Amazon FBA. For Shopify dropshipping, a lot of you guys may have already heard me talk about it. To kind of get started, again, it has super low startup costs, right? You can literally get a 14-day free trial. You can start getting used to the platform, start looking how it all works. Literally set a store up for free within 14 days. After the 14 days, then you have to pay the monthly fee. It's like there's a minimum plan, which it's like $29, but for 14 days, you can pretty much start a Shopify store for free. They don't charge you to set it up, none of that stuff. Now, from there, obviously, I'm a huge fan of that, because for the people, like you guys, and when I got started, and some of you guys that are watching, you may not be in the best situation where you can afford to spend $1,000 to order products up front without knowing if they're going to sell or not. Of course, you can do your product research with Amazon FBA, but I've heard of cases where people just getting started, they order a ton of products, and it doesn't end up working out. So obviously, for me, I'm not huge into that. I'd much rather go the route where I can start testing products with very minimal capital and start, seeing and learning what kind of things work and what kind of things don't work. So that's just my take on it. One of the next ones is you do need some money to drive traffic to your store, to start really testing a lot more, because you need money for Facebook ads, Instagram influencers, pretty much any way that you're gonna get paid traffic. You're gonna need some money for that. Now, I'm a huge fan of paid traffic because you get a lot more control. Once you figure out what works, you just have to increase your budget when it comes to paid traffic, and usually, as long as the numbers hold true, if you're making double or triple the return and you increase your budget, again, whatever your new budget is, you're going to be making double or triple your return. So I'm huge on paid traffic. I'm not the biggest fan of free traffic, just because you can't really control it and it's not as scalable. Paid traffic is super scalable, and that's why a lot of people are huge fans of it. So when it comes to Facebook ads, that's obviously super scalable, and Instagram influencers, you can obviously get, and generate great results using the two to get traffic. You do need some money to drive traffic. That's when the actual cost or capital will be required. But up until that point, you can literally find hot products, set up a store, all that stuff without spending a dime. So that's why I'm a huge fan of it. Now, the next one is you don't get to take advantage of free traffic. That is one of the downsides. But again, free traffic isn't everything. Paid traffic, again, is a lot more scalable. And the only reason why it works really well for Amazon FBA is because they already have built such a big company that they get all these visitors daily. So of course, like, the free traffic for them makes all the sense, right? Because they already have the brand, a trust, all that great stuff. So that's something that for anyone working on a Shopify dropshipping store, those are things you guys can work on along the way. You know, having, you know, building a brand, building that trust with customers, and a whole lot more. It just takes some time to kind of get started. One of the reasons why I'm a huge fan of actually Shopify dropshipping is because, again, you get to do things like, again, build a brand, which we were just talking about. And there's multiple ways you can do that by building different social media platforms, having the emails that you can come in you can stay in consistent contact, you know, with your customers on, and a whole lot more. And that's huge because that lets you scale really to the next level and have that brand that you can then branch out and sell numerous different products within. You know, if you have a general store, if you have a niche store, you can then do so. You know, with Amazon, doesn't really let you. Now, one of the cons though with Shopify dropshipping is that you usually do have to test a lot more to find your winning products that's gonna really do well for you. That's just part of the game. Again, the reason why it's part of the game is because with Shopify dropshipping, you don't need 100 different products to really get the results you're looking for. Usually, you know, when we've had our biggest months, where we've done, you know, me and my business partner Samir have generated over 228 grand in 1 month. You know, we literally did that, the majority of those sales with one product, right? So you don't need a ton of different products to have, you know, really good months or to really crush it. So of course, if it doesn't take that many products to crush it, of course the product research process is going to be, you know, it's going to be a lot more in depth, and you're going to need to do a lot more testing. Of course, what I'm a huge fan of is the fact that you get to keep all the customer data with Shopify dropshipping. You get to keep their emails. You get to see, like, when they come into your store, how they browse. There's different apps that you can see literally the interaction that customers are having with your store live. You can see when someone comes in, the things they click on, everything, right? It's absolutely insane. And you get to keep all that information, so you get to find out different things like what attracts more customers, what kind of colors people like, what makes people buy, all these different things, right? And for me, that's super important because if you learn about human psychology, what makes people buy, what attracts customers, what doesn't, that's going to be super beneficial, not only for your Shopify dropshipping business, but any other businesses that you build later on. So that actually transitions and leads me on to my next point. One of the reasons why I feel like Shopify dropshipping is, you know, huge or a good opportunity, or the skills that go behind it are a lot more valuable than Amazon FBA, is because, you know, with Shopify dropshipping, if you can master the skills of being able to set up a website that actually converts, learning all the psychological biases that really go into play, you know, that really make people come in from a cold visitor to actually buying, if you're able to learn that, also how to research different products that sell within the marketplace, and you learn how to drive paid traffic, you know, to that website to, you know, take advantage of obviously the good site you put together, but also learn how to build a back-end system where, you know, after somebody buys, you're able to then generate more revenue on the back end. If you're able to learn all those different skill sets in one and really master it, you're literally going to have a skill set that you'll be able to use not only, again, for your Shopify dropshipping business, but if you decide to start any other business as well, right? So that's obviously huge because for me personally, I look for opportunities where when I go in there, the skill sets that I'm going to learn is going to be a lot more than just for that business, right? I want to see how I can scale it up and then, you know, use that same skill sets for other opportunities. So for me, that's huge just because I see the fact that, you know, learning like Facebook ads is super powerful, right? Learning about websites and what makes people buy, super powerful, right? The cognitive biases, all that great stuff. You know, that's obviously super powerful. So for me personally, I'm obviously a huge fan of Shopify dropshipping just because that's what I've gotten the success and results with, but also because of the skill sets that go behind it. I actually made a video talking about, you know, why I decided to choose Shopify dropshipping compared to any other opportunity, and that's the main reason why. That was pretty much everything I had to kind of compare both Amazon FBA and Shopify dropshipping. Again, I think they're both good opportunities, but I do think that the skills that you learn within, you know, building a successful Shopify dropshipping business do overweigh the skills that you learn with Amazon FBA. So that's just my personal opinion. If you guys want to see more videos of me comparing different business opportunities, of course, drop a like on this video. And if you guys have any questions between trying out Amazon FBA or trying out Shopify dropshipping, drop your questions below. I'll be responding to all you guys. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, join the V fam, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.